Hey you, what's up guys? Good evening ladies and gentlemen. Good to see every one of you here. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, please say a hi to me in the comments. All right, so I can see quite a number of you are in this Facebook Live already. Thank you. J, Doreen, hello. MH, Guang Jie, Amanda, Gary, hello. Nigel, Jijing, Bunseng, Dennis, Christine, Susie, Eiling. All right, so how have you guys been, right? Today is the eve of a public holiday. Good to see every one of you here. Hello, Mac. All right, so you guys can hear me loud and clear, right? If you guys can hear me loud and clear, just say a yes to me in the comments. So that I just want to make sure everything is okay. And I think there are about 80 people in this Facebook Live right now. So please give me a like, share, or comments if you can. So just give me a like at least, so that to tell Facebook that you want to engage with me, so they want to see more of me in the future. Because if you don't do that, right, Facebook think that you don't like me and won't show you as much as of my feed in the future already. So please give me a like, share, or comments. Like is free, just freely give me. Okay. So yep, good to see every one of you here. Hello, thank you those who just joined. There's quite a number of them. Hello to everyone. So Wang, Amanda, Danny, Desmond, Christine, Itfa. All right, good to see every one of you here. Okay, so today, all right, I'm sure right now the market is correcting right now. So how many of you here are actually a bit worried about the market? All right, so this is what I'm going to talk about today. So let me just share my screen today. So just want to go through my agenda for today, just in case I forgot what I want to share today. All right, so I'm try to zoom in. Give me a moment. Yes. Okay, so my agenda for today is very simple. Just want to go through what's happening today, what's happening to the market right now. We'll go through what is the market, as in what is the strong one, what is the weak one, what is the strong sectors and industry, all this. Is the market undergoing through a correction right now? Will there be a sharper correction in the coming days or weeks to come? All right, so I'll be sharing something a bit new today. I think this is the first time I'm going to share with you like this volume profile. Talk about this volume market breadth as well. All right, so where you can get this market breadth, and talk about the CPI, the inflation rate, the interest rate, and this can be found in this trading economics. And if you I think today there's a news on this inflation rate, the CPI, the consumer price index, actually increased to 4% if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you these strong hidden sectors and industry that you might not be able to find that easily if you don't drill deeper into the industry or sectors. And sometimes even my comprehensive ETF list might not have this industry insight also. Okay, so last but not least, I'm also going to talk about this US dollar. All right, so let's get started today, right now. Okay. All right, so what's happening in the market right now? Okay, so let's go to the trading view over here. So the S&P futures, you just see my list over here, okay, somewhere around here, okay? All right, so the S&P futures is down 1.3%. The Nasdaq futures is down 2.24%, the worst for today. And the Dow Jones is down about 1%. Okay, so that's all for today right now. And let's go through the sectors. Okay, sectors. Let me go through the sectors. Where is it? All right, so all down except the energy and the finance sector. All right, are you surprised by that? All right, so energy and the finance sector is the only one that is positive today. So let's go to my favorite site. Okay, so that's the finviz.com. Right, so for those who are new to MarketWise Asia, right, to have an understanding of what is the sectors, what is the industry performing, right, just go to finviz.com. Okay, I'll just post the link in the comments. All right, so we go to the navigation over here under the groups. All right, this ads over here. Okay, you see over here. So energy, all right, is the positive one. So right now the finance is showing negative. I believe that's because the price feed is delayed by 15 minutes. So nothing serious. So generally you can see everything is down except the energy and the finance. So if you go drill down to the industry, obviously if the energy is up, so basically all the oil and gas drilling, exploration, production, refining equipment, all these are up. All right, all these are up. And if you're talking about something that is a bit different, like some of the health are up also, like for example, drug manufacturers, biotech, banks finance is up, right? So all this is up also. Business equipment, farm and heavy construction. All right. So essentially, these are the strong ones for today. These are the strong ones for today. Basically, is the health, not health, energy. All right. We have the banks. That's the finance, and then you can see biotech, drug manufacturer. Also, so all this is the health. All right. Energy, finance, and health. All right. So how many of you are actually worried right now, or your position is a bit underwater, or right now your position has already been stopped out already, all right? So maybe you can share with you some of your views, okay? So are you worried, or just chill, everything is okay as per normal? It's time to accumulate more. All right, tell me what's your view right now. If you can, all right, just engage with me, talk with me, just treat me as a friend. Oh, by the way, I forgot. All right, Gary, you forgot to remind me. I haven't said a disclaimer yet. So whatever I say today is just for informational, educational purpose. All right. Please don't treat my information advice as a recommendation to buy or sell. All right. Alex is always wrong. All right. Treat me as a clown. Please don't copy me. All right. So today is just for educational purpose. So worry. All right. Jack said SL hit liao. George, worry also no use. John says sing already. Christopher trying to get in. Gary, laugh out loud. You didn't remind me today. All right. Vico, those with stock profit long for long term. Okay, chill, not hit hard. Out of tech for a while. All right. So yeah, Ethan, I think said something that's right. So if you are out of the tech, generally, I think some of your stop loss might be hit, but generally should be fine. Okay. Yep. Think correction ongoing, not time to bottom yet. Okay, so that's my key for today. Just want to share with you, yes, market correction. All right, so let's go to this. Let's go through the S&P 500 first, okay? So I already mentioned many times, right, for S&P 500 or even for the Nasdaq. Let me go through the watch list over here. Okay, I already mentioned for my how many Facebook Live there. So I'm quite wary of this market rise. Okay, because there isn't a meaningful pullback from the market. So there isn't a 5% drop or even a 10% drop. So market is at a high. Okay, so even for on a daily time frame for the S&P 500, prior to these past 3 days, prior to these 3 days, so don't count these 3 days. So market has been pretty strong, just keep going up high, So also there's no pullback. So I've been saying that I haven't been stacking into any positions. So Joyce, you see my screen is very blur. Okay, so I try to zoom in bigger. So it's not blur, maybe a bit small. Okay, so all right. So I have been saying that I haven't been stacking, I haven't been adding to much position because I think the market is at a high. So I don't want to keep adding position because once the market correct, right, then everything will crumble and then everything on my stop loss will be hit. Even though the stocks that I enter could be in a strong sector or industry, but there's a chance that my stock will get hit even though those are in a strong sector or industry. Okay, so in a broad-based correction, everything will drop. All right, so that's why I'm wary. Even for Nasdaq also, prior to the past 1 week, it has always been at a high also. For the Dow, okay, I use the candle, okay, so you can see clearer. All right, so it's also at a high with no meaningful pullback over here, always at a high. So if you go to a weekly time frame, this is much clearer. Okay, can you see for Dow? Ever since September, November last year, price has been going higher. No meaningful pullback. This pullback is not present. Okay, S&P is the same ever since November. All right, keep going higher. The pullback is not significant. For the Dow, starting to have a pullback also, but before that also all the way up, no meaningful pullback. The pullback is only here. Okay, all right. So let's go to check the market breadth. Like market breadth. Okay. All right. So I'll post this link in the comments. All right. Index indicators. I'm trying to zoom in. So I'm using this to check the market breadth. Okay, for those who don't know what is market breadth, basically it's just to see overall what is the market is doing. Because for example, like the index S&P 500, they're only concentrating on the top 500 companies. You know, in the whole New York Stock Exchange, there are thousands of companies. I think about 2,000 or 3,000. Plus the Nasdaq, there are also thousands. Okay. And you know, for example, the Dow Jones, there's only top 30 companies. For the S&P 500, there's only the top 500. And for the Nasdaq 100, the top 100. So what you are seeing is actually a very narrow, so-called based by a market weight index. Okay. So all these companies, the bigger company, they are inside this index. So they might not represent the whole US market. All right. You get what I mean? And I want to use the market breadth to see all the stocks, for example, like the whole New York Stock Exchange, or maybe even I just use the S&P 500 as an example. Okay, so I've just used the S&P 500. Now I can go to this index indicator. You go to this S&P 500, and then you go to, all right, I want to find the number of percentage of S&P stocks that is above the 50-day moving average. All right, so then just click on the chart over here. All right, so I zoom into maybe 2 years. 2 years, for me to do that. 2 years. All right, so can you guys see? All right, so the black lines over here, this is the S&P 500. All right, of course, and the green lines over here, right, are the percentage of S&P 500 stocks that is above the 50-day moving average. So I use 50-day moving average because I think that is suited for, you know, short-term to mid-term. All right, so for those who are doing swing trading or to a few weeks, that kind of. So I think this is good for short to mid-term. All right. So how do I know that the market breadth is high? Can you see over here, right? I'm not sure you guys can see. How to zoom bigger? All right. So you can see over here, right? This is the mean. All right. This is -1 standard deviation, +1 standard deviation, -2 standard deviation. Right. Can you see that, you know, whenever the market is at a high, all right, at a high, based on best fit, okay, based on best fit, all right. So for example, over here, okay, all right, all these are the best fit. Right, I try to okay. Then I will remove that. Yes. Okay, so can you see when the market is at a high, all right, at a high over here, and the breadth is high, shortly after, right, the market will correct. Okay, the market is at a high over here, the breadth is at a high, all right, the market will tend to correct. Okay, so it's not always the case, but generally it just gives you a signal that, you know, the market is at a high right now. There are, you know, maybe 80 to 70% and above of all the stocks are above the 50 days moving average already. So, which means that, you know, it is very, pretty bullish. So anytime, you know, the market could just correct. So I'm trying to remove the, all right, the S&P chart over here. All right. So we can see over here. Can you see numbers over here? Prior to the past few days, right? 80%. Okay, this is 80% best fit curve. So 80% of all the S&P stocks are above the 50 days moving average already. All right. And then, you know, when it is at the bottom over here, near the standard deviation, okay? So you know that, you know, market is extremely bearish. So you can treat this market breadth indicator, right, as, you know, overbought or oversold. So it tells you the whole market, what all these S&P 500 stocks are doing, okay? If you even want a broader view, all right, you can go to this, there are quite a number of choices that you can see, for example, NASDAQ 100, all right? Percentage of 100 NASDAQ 100 stock that's above the 50-day moving average, okay? Then you chart. So we can see that the NASDAQ has already corrected already. So right now, there's only, you know, 50% of all the NASDAQ 100 stocks is above the 50-day moving average. So right now for NASDAQ, it's actually not really, you know, the market breadth is not actually really high right now. The high is somewhere around here, around here. So when market is at the top, you know, there's tendency for the market to do a correction. Right now for the NASDAQ 100, you know, market has already corrected. And if, of course, if you follow some of these tech stocks like Palantir, Tesla, you know, what else, Snow, Fastly, all these stocks, they have been dropping. So price is somehow, I think, I'm not sure, is it below the 50-day moving average already? But generally, you know, NASDAQ has already corrected. Okay, so we can take a look at, for example, the whole NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. So we can take a look at this. All right. Okay, for the whole NYSE, the market breadth is still pretty high. Market breadth is still pretty high. So there's a chance that market can just continue to correct in the coming days or weeks until it reach the mean level that is about 56%. Okay, 56%. Right? Do you get what I mean so far? Are you guys learning something new today? I think this is also the first time that I'm talking about this site called the index indicators. If I'm providing, you know, you're learning something new, just type a new in the comments. Okay. So generally, just want to share with you, right? You can use this to gauge the market breadth. All right. So let me go back to the S&P 500. S&P 500 over here, above the 50-day moving average. All right, so I'll just add in back the S&P chart over here. All right, so thank you for your comments. So this is something new for you guys. All right, yes. Can you see for the S&P 500 during the COVID sell-off? Can you see the number of stocks that is, you know, below the 50-day moving average is hit smack at the low over here, and it's like, you know, it's below 2 standard deviation. And this tells you that, you know, the market is really, you know, oversold, and the market breadth is at a low. See, so which means that most of the stocks are all very negative. So you can treat it as a contrarian ideas, you know, when people are fearful, then that is the time where you might want to go in. Okay, so at the time over here when it's at a low, you know, market is at a low, it rebounded, it's at a low, it rebounded also. Okay, it's at a low, it rebounded also. Right now, there's still some room to go down. Okay, so I hope you guys can get something away from this market breadth indicator for your future lookout. All right, and another thing I want to share with you is this volume profile thing, which I never shared in my previous Facebook Live before. All right, so this is the volume profile over here, right? VP, volume profile. All right, so if you understand, if you have in the market, you should know that the volume, and most of you guys are familiar with this part of the volume over here, where price over time, all right, where price, no, sorry, it's volume over time. Okay, let me try to do that now. Yes, okay, the volume over time. So it tells you, like, for example, in a day, how much volume is being generated or transacted. What's the volume for today, essentially. Okay, but you never know, like for today, right? At what price is the highest volume generated. You get what I mean? So you can only know for the whole day, like today, all right, this is the volume generated 1.317 million, but you don't know at what price is the heaviest volume generated. Okay, so I use volume profile to tell me that. Okay, so which means that I know at what price there's the at what price, the volume is the heaviest. Yeah, at what price the volume is the heaviest, which means that, there's a chance that, big boys are transacting at that price, because most of us retail, cannot move the market, and we need the big boys, to generate the volume for us. In this case, for example, using the S&P 500, all right, the orange line over here is what we call the point of control. That's the heaviest volume generated at the price 3909. Okay, but what this is right now is not that important. I just want to share with you that there's also a high volume over here. Can you see over here? All right, I hope you guys can see. I try to cannot really zoom. Okay. Can you see the blue shaded line over here? There's a like a mountain peak over here, right? There's a mountain peak over here. There's a mountain peak over here. Okay, so there's a significant volume generated somewhere around here. Okay, somewhere around here. So I'm trying to draw the horizontal line over here. Right. So it's at about 4180. All right, about 4180. And of course, we know that market is at a high already. And a huge volume is being generated at the price over here at a high 4180 at this cluster over here. All right, cluster over here. So in my thinking, this could be a distribution from the big boys. Okay, all right, this could be a distribution from the big boys. Okay, so we are at a high already, right? So there's a chance that the big boys are unloading all this volume, as in all these shares to us, at a high price. So previously I mentioned that I use volume, right? So mainly the volume that I use is using this indicator called volume profile. And if you are using a free account from TradingView, you aren't able to get it for free. You need to have a paid account in TradingView in order to use this volume profile. All right. All right. So Ethan is asking this volume profile. Why is the volume profile top mountain peak has lighter color? All right. So for volume profile, as I mentioned, right. Okay. So the orange line is the POC, the point of control, where there's the highest volume generated at a specific price. For this example, is 3906. All right, so there's a so-called the value area that's within 75% of the area over here. That is called the value area high, VAH, and the value area low. Okay, so all these are so-called significant support and resistance. Also is supposedly if price is going to hit that, and the reason why it is shaded at a lower, as in is like lighter color, lighter shade, is because we are focusing on this value area over here. So that's why it is shaded at a darker color. But nevertheless, right, a lighter color over here, even though if there's a significant kind of okay, because if I zoom in, all right, you can see that it changes really the volume profile. You can see over here, now this become the high volume area, depending on how I zoom to the price. So basically this volume profile here is based on all the candles over here. All right, you get what I mean over here? Okay, so I think maybe my explanation is not very clear, because I think this is the first time I try to explain using volume profile, but nevertheless, okay, just understand that there's a high volume of volume being transacted over here, okay, which means that there's a chance that there's a distribution going on. All right, okay, I'm not saying that the market is heading for a crash. I'm saying that the market might be heading for a further correction. might be heading for further correction. This is not to scare you that this is a crash. So just want to tell you that, for the S&P 500, okay, can you see that, price is still above the cloud, above the CPR. This is the weekly time frame, but the daily time frame, all right, we are still above the cloud. We are hitting right smack at the CPR, all right, the central pivot range over here. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that for the past few Facebook Live, I'm mentioning that I don't want to add more position because I think, I'm not comfortable. Obviously, I'm not comfortable that, the market hasn't corrected. And within the past 1 week or so, I find that, this volume cluster is somewhat of concern to me. So there might be some distribution going on. Okay, there might be some distribution going on. So let me take a look here. Market breadth VP. Okay, so where do I think, right, the support can be at this moment in time? For the S&P 500, right, okay, it's getting more and more bearish. All right, so the S&P now has been dropping 1.54%. The S&P futures right now, it is closing like below the yearly central pivot range already. Okay, and based on the volume profile over here, right, another significant volume is over here. Okay, somewhere over here. I try to shade now so that you guys can see. So it's 4070. Okay, 4070. So I go back to over here. All right, the H 4070, 4070. Right. So I think there's a high chance that price could test this 4070, and then it could be acting as a support really at this high volume node over here. All right, so I'm watching this. Okay, and for the Nasdaq wise, all right, so price is below the central pivot range and below the S1. Right now, we are hitting right at the cloud support over here. Okay, and it seems that today is also very bearish. It seems like it's trying to break below the cloud over here. So we go to the Nasdaq over here. Can you see over here for the Nasdaq, right? The high volume node is at about 12860. All right, so it's 12860. High volume is being transacted there. So I try to 12860. Okay, so there's a chance that price could go further down within the next few days to test this 12860. All right, but even then, if price really tested there, the market, it is still at a high, you see. So do not be surprised, if the market continue to move down within the next few weeks. So I'm zooming to the weekly time frame already, So don't be surprised if price do like this, all right, within the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks or so, and even go down even lower. So you need to brace yourself for this correction. So in fact, if there's this correction going on, I am actually quite happy. It shows that, the market has more room to continue to go higher. Because if the market doesn't correct, that'd be very scary, just the chong, then eventually you get exhausted. All right, you get what I mean. Okay. So for the S&P, okay, so it is still first week of correction, okay. So there's a chance that, price could, continue to do this again and test the previous trend line over here, right? So there's a lot of possibility. Basically, what I'm trying to say that, prepare yourself for this correction for the next coming few weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know. But I think that, the correction might be coming, okay? But I don't think we are going to have that kind of sell-off during the COVID sell-off. Like one day we will drop 12%, 9%, that kind of, okay? That's my view. Because I don't think because that time is a black swan event. It's a sudden kind of event where, the COVID just happened. That's why the market, didn't expect that. Right now, the COVID is a known already. It's a known already. So everybody knows about COVID. So even there's a first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, whatever wave there is, the market is anticipating that really. So market won't be hit so hard by this COVID thing, unless there are new things that's coming out, a black swan it's not anticipated previously, then that will cause a market crash. But right now, I don't think a severe COVID situation will cause another very severe market crash. That's my personal opinion. All right. And okay, okay so far. All right. So let me try to get some water first. If the Nasdaq fall further, it looks like it's a double top pattern. Nasdaq. All right, it is. Okay, it is. So if you're talking purely about price action, so this is also not good. As in, you're not just seeing the double top, okay? So this is the previous resistance, right? So this is the previous resistance over here. All right, can you see that, this is actually a false breakout. This is actually a false breakout. All right, so there will be some retail, some traders, whatever, some investors thinking that the market continue to head higher, break, as in to trade the breakout, and then they are trapped, and then price just kind of flush down again. So actually, this is also a wash and rinse on the weekly time frame also. So yep, it's a double top. All right, basically what you want to see from a price action is that this is a double top where price do a false break and then come back down. This is also pretty bearish. All right, so let me see. Okay, so talk about this. Just to add something. Like this CPI, the Consumer Price Index. All right, so I think just now the market has this news. Okay, the data is out. All right, so go to the Forex Factory over here. Just now, where is it? Today is 13/12. All right, so over here, okay. Sorry about that. You guys can see, right? So the Consumer Price Index, just on the news was released at 8:30 p.m. Okay, they only expect 0.2%, but price actually go up to 0.8%. So this is more like a kind of inflation kind of a data. So the higher it is, means that inflation is creeping in. All right, so let me see. You guys can see okay, I'm zooming the figures really, right? Consumer price account for majority of the overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency, blah blah blah. All right, so these CPIs is a test for the inflation statistic. Okay, so inflation rate. So can you see that the CPI is up, right? So which means that the inflation is creeping up also. All right. So if inflation is creeping up, so there's an interest rate will also creep up also. All right. So do you know why? When inflation rate, interest rate will also creep up also. Do you know why? If you know the answer, just type in the comments, right? If you don't know, just type a no in the comments. All right. And when inflation goes higher, right, this will kind of positive for the commodities market and the finance sector also. All right. Anybody knows why inflation goes up, right? Interest rate will also tends to go up. Anybody knows? So I'll just explain. So essentially, when inflation rate increase, okay, your value of the money is dropping today, right? So if the inflation keep going higher, your money value is getting lesser and lesser. All right. So imagine a bank want to lend you money today, and the inflation money keep going higher, which means that half a year later, 1 year later, or 2 years later, right? The money they return to the bank, all right, is going to be, the value will be much lower, right? So lesser value, right? The money 2 years later is not going to worth as much as right now today. Am I right to say that? So when inflation goes higher, right, especially the lenders, right, the banks will want to command a higher interest rate because they want to compensate for the risk they're undertaking for lending you the money, all right, because they know that jolly well within the next 1 year or 2 years, if the inflation keeps going higher, okay, when you return them the money is going to become, the value is to become lesser and lesser. So in order to compensate for this rise in the inflation rate and the value going lower, right? So they want to hike the interest rate, right, to compensate for this inflation risk. Do you get what I mean? So when there's an inflation rate goes higher, okay, so interest will go higher, and this will also pretty bullish for the, as I mentioned, commodities, commod, COMMOD, and the banks are basically the banks, the finance sector, basically the banks, okay, the finance. Sorry for my handwriting. So let's take a look at the commodities right now. Commodities right now, you can go to this trading economics. Okay, trading economics. I will post the link in the comment. Okay, then you go to the commodities tab over here. Right, go to the go to the markets and then go to commodities. All right. And if you have been following my Facebook Live, I've been saying that, commodities is in a bull market right now. Okay, can you see for the crude oil, all the energy, year to date is up 36%, gasoline is up 53%. What else? Gold goes to something that's negative, basically, but platinum is up 14%. Agriculture, up 30%. Lumber is up 81%. Okay, what else? Palm oil, everything, coffee, cotton, canola, corn, all right. Even the meat, everything is going higher. So this commodity bull market is real, and when everything, the commodities, materials, everything rises, there's a risk that inflation will creep up also, and this is already reflected in the CPI index already. So let's go to this commodity index, UT, right? The Thomson Reuters CRB index. Okay, this is the weekly time frame. All right. When I first mentioned about commodities, I think it's somewhere around here. All right, I'm noticing that price actually broke above the cloud. Commodities could be heading for a bullish move in an uptrend. All right, ever since then, right, market just keep going higher and higher. All right, so right now we broke above this trend line also already. So commodities might just keep going higher and higher. Of course, along the way, there will be pullback. So commodities are pretty volatile. Okay, so you need to be careful about that. But generally, everything is going higher. Commodities is going higher. So you need to, how to say, take advantage of this. So I've been mentioning, for example, XOP, the oil sector. This is one of them that I'm holding. Okay, so just to let you know, for the XOP, for example, the energy, okay, so this is a long-term trend line, and it seems that this coming week, all right, there is a breakout over here, trying to break out, at least trying to break out. That's trying to break out, okay, trying to break out over here. All right, price is above the cloud, above the trend line over here. Okay, the energy sector like XLE, okay, so it's also pretty bullish also, the whole energy sector. Even for gold, where's gold, right? Gold, okay, on the daily time frame, it's also bullish, right? Price was heading down. Right now, price is also above the cloud uptrend, above the CPR also uptrend. All right, so you have been following my Facebook Live. I mentioned that I'm also inside this GDX gold miners. Okay, so it's still holding pretty well, over here, even though the market is undergoing a correction. All right, so generally, yes, steel, aluminum, all these are pretty strong, very strong. Okay, so let me take a look here. Okay, so I just want to show you the strong hidden sectors and industry also. Okay, so go over here. Before I go into that, okay, just go here to my watch list also. This is the watch list for me, the ETF watch list. So I have a broad idea what is performing today. All right. So today, as I mentioned, using the FinViz over here, which I mentioned, right, which can be also seen from this watch list that I have curated over here. So one look, all right, I just do a refresh over here. One look, you can see that, the oil is doing well, all right, all the oil equipment, energy sector, Coca, what else? Biotech, as I mentioned just now also, pretty well also. Pharmaceutical, all these are pretty well. But basically, you can see the rest are quite a number of commodities, natural gas, commodity index, what else? All right, lead also, all these are this. Okay, so I have this ETF list, which I have done up over here. Okay, this is the list over here. I think for those who are with me, you should know this list already. But for those who are new to MarketWise Asia, I have curated this list where I sort out according to all the sectors, the industry, the indices, the countries. Everything is quite well arranged in a way. After that, you can plug all these ETF tickers into your watch list, be it your broker or other like TradingView, whatever you have, right? So for example, TradingView, right? If you have TradingView, you can also import them into TradingView, for example, like under the industry over here, right? You can sort according to the best performing, like the oil today, to the worst performing, like marijuana today also, like for example, okay? So you can sort this out, okay? So yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I have this list over here. If you're new to MarketWise Asia, right, just go to the list over here. I'll post the link in the comments, okay? So just go ahead and key in your name and email address and you will get this list. This list is free. All right. Okay, so I mentioned already, I want to share with you the hidden sector and industry. Okay, so this is something I didn't discover until I kind of go through Twitter, and some of my friends, and someone tell me actually, the hardware sector industry is pretty strong. Hardware industry. By the way, there is no kind of technology hardware ETF that there isn't one. It used to have, but it was delisted already. So right now you don't have. Okay, right now you don't have. And if you want to go to FinViz, right, go to industry wise. Okay. Go to sort by industry. Okay. All right, or even go to sector, right? So you might not find, how to say, computer sector, computer hardware, hardware. Okay, it's here, but it is not the highest, okay? But some of the stocks are performing pretty well for computer hardware, All right, so let me try to gather my thoughts. Okay, so what I want to try to say is that the hidden industry, how do I search for that? Hardware, computers. Where is it? Just give me a moment. I want to show you is hardware. Let me see. Let me think about it. I forget what I want to show you already. Okay, now I'll show you that later. But meanwhile, I go through the dollar index also. Okay, I want to share with you is that this dollar index also, watch this over here. All right, so anybody of you actually follow the forex market? Okay. Okay, so I mentioned previously that euro dollar is heading higher. All right, it's heading higher. Okay, above the cloud. All right, right now it is above the CPR, but right now you can see that the market is in a risk off mode already, because you can see, right, the euro dollar, the euro is depreciating, the dollar is strengthening, because when there's a market correction, market tend to buy into the US dollar, because the US dollar is a safe haven currency. So right now it is, after a few days of rally, right now the euro dollar is heading down. Okay, it's heading down. All right, so just to take note of that. All right, so which leads me to this dollar index, DXY over here. Okay. All right. You'll see this is the trend line that I have drawn. This trend over here. All right, so initially the dollar is going down. All right, so right now today there's a huge rally over here. Okay, so now there's a false break over this trend line over here and then heading back up. So I think my computer is a bit slow today, right? It's not responding that well. Okay, so which means that I'm going to go to this seasonality chart again. Okay. Dollar index. I forget ticker. Yes. Okay. Oh, all right. 10 years. Okay. Can you see that for the past 10 years, all right, the dollar tend to go up in May. All right. 15 years, this is pretty high also. Okay. 73%, the dollar will close higher. If you stretch back to 20 years, also pretty high, 60%. Okay, which go back to, let's try the Euro USD. Okay, for the past about 10 years or so, 11 years or so, okay, right now. So it is always close lower, 27% close high, which means that, about 70% chance it closed lower. All right, and if you zoom to 20%, so 20 years, sorry, okay, it is also at a low over here. So there's a chance that this month, May, it could be the sell in May and go away kind of syndrome also. Okay, the US dollar can continue to strengthen. So there's a chance. All right. So this is what I want you to take notice of that. Okay, so there's a chance that this month, the market will correct further. All right, and even go higher at the start of this month today, which is somewhere around here already. So it's going to go higher up already. So if that's the case, right, then this month the dollar index will close positive and will go back into the seasonality as part of the statistic again. Where is it? The seasonality, where is it? Here. All right, so like this, USD. Okay. And yes, this X is annoying. All right, so close positive, you're back to a statistic again, 71%. Okay, so it is something also new to you, or it is some data that you know of only for today. Most of the time, right, the dollar will go up in May, and November. All right, in May and November. Okay, so yeah, going back to the James, all right, the hardware. Yes, I want to show you that. Going to the hidden industry and sector over here. Let me see, where is it? Okay, so industry sector. Go through the sector over here. All right. So hardware is under technology. So if you look through this technology, right, it has been underperforming for the past many months. Okay, so you might think that, wow, technology, 没有要救了. All the growth stock is undergoing a pullback or tech stock. But if you click into technology, all right, I remember already. Okay, if you click into technology, no, not do that. Okay, so click into these sectors. Industry, technology sector, yes, over here, yeah. Okay, do you realize that computer hardware over here is performing extremely well? Half-year performance, okay? So what are all these hardware? Okay, hardware is this. You click on it, right? Then you see the overview over here. You show you the hardware. So I sorted by market cap over here. Okay, so zoom in. Can you see or not? Dell, HP, Western Digital, Logitech. All right. So, of course, Dell, they all make computers, right? They all make computers, right? Is it sexy or not? Is it sexy? Not sexy, right? Hardware, like. Alright, sexy man under tech. Not sexy, right? Okay. Can you see the performance of Dell? Right. Up all the way. Okay, so all these are hidden industry in the tech sector. How many of you actually traded HP or Dell? Of course, if I know that some of you are J students. If you are J students, then of course you've been trading all these stocks. HP also not sexy, not sexy hardware, but it has been performing very well. So this computer hardware, even though some people might think that it is a sunset industry, everything is going to software as a service, SaaS hardware is going downhill, but the stock market doesn't seem to say so. It is heading higher. Of course, after going such a strong bull run, right, it's bound to have a pullback. Okay, so I'm just trying to tell you that all these are hidden sector. If you don't drill deeper, you might not be able to find that, because there's no hardware ETF, if I am not mistaken. Okay, and then let me go through. Another one is this packaging. Packaging. Let me try to go through this sector industry. Oops. Industry. I try to find packaging. Packaging. No, I think it's not here. I think you should scroll down lower. But nevertheless, okay, I just want to share with you is this for packaging. Packaging is under consumer. This is under consumer discretionary. Okay, consumer discretionary. Can you see packaging for the past 1 month performance? For the past 3 months, zoom in, it's also performing very well. And by the way, packaging and containers, those are cardboards, plastic containers, and all these are packaging. You go inside this list over here, go to overview over here. All right, then you sort by market cap over here. All right, so for example, like Ball Corporation, International Paper. All right, what else? Silk Air, all these companies. Basically, how I discovered about this industry is because of my e-commerce friends. So he has been following this e-commerce company. Okay, so he said instead of buying Shopify or this tech stock, right? Why don't I buy, for example, companies that supply cardboards, boxes to Amazon? Amazon is the biggest e-commerce company in the world, right? So Amazon need a lot of all these, cardboards, papers, everything to pack and to sort all their item products, right? So all these are kind of a hidden company that is not sexy one, not sexy. You get what I mean? It's kind of like, sunset industry, packaging, all this. Okay, so like Ball Corporation, Ball. Okay, so go to Ball, BLL, Ball Corp. Is it BL? BL, is it? Yes, BLL. Okay. Okay, recently it's undergoing pullback, okay? But generally, it's all this pretty strong. Okay, it's strong, okay? So previously it was strong. So what I'm trying to say that, Still Air is SEAL, is it? Still Air is SEE. SEE. Still Air. Also very strong, you see? Still Air is strong. All these are packaging, papers, paper product, what else? Sorry, too many tabs already. IP. International paper. Yes, IP. That's right, IP. Danny, are you inside IP also? All right, so all these are very strong, you see? All right, there isn't an ETF that deals with, paper packaging and all this stuff. Okay, no paper packaging, no hardware. So you might miss this kind of industry. So what I want to share is that, you can go drill down even lower. Okay, go to the, like for example, like you want to go to healthcare, for example, what healthcare is doing the better ones, for the past 3 months or so. All right, you can drill down even lower. Okay, you get what I mean? So you go and drill down. So you can go to this industrial. All right, so drill down. So you can take a look at some of these industry and take a look at some of the stocks over here. Okay, so this is not meant to tell you, it's a bit of work. So you need to drill down and take a look. So it's not so straightforward. Like for example, the strong sectors that I always go to ETF.com. Right, so for those who have been with me, you should know already. So ETF screener. Okay, over here, then you screen, all right, under the features. I don't want ETN, no. I don't want leverage, no. Performance. All right, so maybe year to date. Okay, so ignore some of these ridiculous percentage. I think there's some data issue, but generally you can see like natural gas, oil sector, uranium, small cap, what else? Cannabis, retail are strong. Steel, okay, so all these are the strong one. Corn, of course. Copper, what else? Data sharing, blockchain. All right, what else? Home construction, ITBR, home construction is also one, but you don't have this packaging, you don't have this hardware index because there isn't this ETF, okay? So you might need to, drill down into the industry and take a look at some of these industry yourself to have a better understanding of what's happening in case the ETF might have missed this industry. All right, so do you get what I mean so far? Okay, so let me take a break. So if any question, you can ask me. So I've been inside this 1 hour mark already. Let me take a look at the comments over here. I think it's asking, will it be too high to go into XLU and XLE? All right, so let's take a look at the chart over here. I'm trying to remove some tabs. It is causing my computer to be slower. All right. So let's go to XLE energy. Okay. If you are talking about potential upside on Eiling, okay, so again, this is not a recommendation to tell you what to buy or sell. Can you see the high is at about 100, okay, and right now it is at about 53 only. So there's potentially there's still another 100% upside, to go, Okay, of course, I'm not saying that you continue to hit higher very fast in just a few weeks or so. I know energy, commodities, all these are high volatile kind of asset classes lah. So be prepared for the pullback. Case in point, for example, like XOP, which I mentioned that I'm bullish. Okay, I also have a position over here. Right, let's go to the daily time frame. All right, so even though I bought over somewhere around here, I think so. Okay, all right, you need to undergo a pullback. You need to undergo a pullback. See, can you tahan this pullback? So, but overall, generally, I still think the oil and gas sector industry is just getting started only. But be careful of the pullbacks along the way. Okay, I still think it is not too late, but of course, it depends all on your time frame, on your risk level also. All right, so again, no recommendation to tell what to buy or sell. And XLU, the utility sector. XLU wise, in XLU is not a former, downtrend turn uptrend kind of play. So I feel that XLU there isn't much, upside in terms of the potential winner they can get. Okay, because it is the risk reward is not that good. For example, like energy, like uranium. I mentioned also URA. This is the ETF over here also. All these there's huge potential. Okay, huge potential. Okay, so you can see the uranium mining company has been down all the way. It's only recently that price started to turn from a downtrend, right, to a uptrend. So all these are higher potential one. Again, it's not to tell you to buy uranium. This is just my personal view. So instead of going to all these tech stocks, okay, right now for now, okay, the commodities are running. So you might want to take advantage using ETF and all this to take advantage of these commodities bull market. All right. James is asking to limit your counter to the 10 largest. What do you mean? What do you mean by limit your counters? I mean the number of holdings that I'm holding right now. Generally, I'm doing swing trading, so I tend not to hold more than 10 positions. So as I mentioned for my previous Facebook Live, I say that I've been holding on. I didn't stack more positions because I'm aware of this market correction. So I think I'm holding about 2 or 3 stocks only. Okay, all right. ZJ, is it better to trade day trade index futures like Nasdaq or Dow Jones for now? All right. So if I used to day trade at a Collins prop firm, so we trade at these Dow Jones, right? So for day trading, but especially in a down market, it is quite profitable. If you know how to trade, because it's moving down fast, So if the market is undergo correction, and if you think you have the skills to day trade, yes, Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq is a good instrument for you to day trade the market. All right. So yep. Any question? Okay. So before I call it a day, so essentially I just want to recap what is happening today. So right now the market is undergoing a correction. So I talk about using market breadth, using this site called the index indicator. I just post the link again in the comments. And I also talk about volume profile, where I mentioned that, the market seems like, there's a distribution at the top because of this high volume node over here, Okay, so be prepared that in the next coming few weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, the market might continue to go down lower. All right, so if you're holding any position, big swing trading or position trade, all right, once they hit your stop, my advice is hit your stop, just get out. Okay, even though it can be painful, just get out and go wait for the market condition to become better, then you go back in again. All right, and then CPI, inflation, I talk about the CPI, the inflation is creeping higher. So because of this inflation going higher, the commodity market is already pricing in already. So expecting that inflation will go up. That's why, recently I mentioned about this ETF.com to screen these sectors, you might still miss out some of these potential sectors. For example, the hardware sectors, like for example the packaging one, because it is not easily found and it is not a sexy industry. And I'm talking about this US dollar over here, where I mentioned that, you know, the US dollar, right? Okay, so which means the euro dollar, okay, which means that the euro dollar might be coming down, okay, because this right now we are undergoing this risk off mode because it's due to a correction. So the market, you know, will tend to plow into this safe haven currency, which is the US dollar, which means that the US dollar right now is heading higher because of the correction mode right now in the market. Okay, so this is just my view at this moment. All right. James is asking, I remember you or Jay saying when price is too low, you avoid those company. You mean for the stocks that I am trading, is it? All right. So personally, as a guideline for the US stocks, right, I tend to trade those that is above 1 billion market cap and above 1B. All right. For price wise, I don't have that limit. It can be $5, $8, $10. I don't mind. But basically, try to have at least 1 billion in market cap. So that is my preference to trade the stocks for trading. Okay. So any questions so far? All right. So if you have no questions so far, I think I will call it a day. And before I go off, all right, so just want to share with you guys again, for those in case you're new to MarketWise Asia, I have this industry ETF industry list over here. It is quite comprehensive. Okay, so it can mostly cover about, I would say, 80 to 90% of the sector and industry already. So this is where I can find, like for example, I can find my watch list, and at one glance, you know, I know what is moving today. All right, so right now so it's moving today. Okay, the energy is moving today. All right, what is the worst for today? All right, second worst is this Taiwan market. In case you don't know, today the Taiwan market, I think there was a bloodshed day. Taiwan index. Okay, Taiwan index. I forget what is the market already. Taiwan. This one. All right. Okay. So it dropped. I think at one time point was dropped about 8% or 6% for Taiwan market. So Taiwan market is very bad today. All right. Yeah. So yes, Vico, thank you for your comments. You say that it's because of the COVID fall in Taiwan, right? Could be, but the market always try to find something to explain why the market dropped. Okay. So Taiwan is very bad. So again, using this ETF list, at one glance, I know what is the worst and what is the best for today. All right. So I have this ETF list. All right. So just go ahead and opt in, fill in your name and email address, and you get access to this list. And I will post the link again in the comments. Okay. And if you are new to MarketWise Asia, please subscribe to our Telegram channel. So if whenever I go to the Facebook Live, I will update normally most of the time in the Telegram channel. So I'll post a link in the Telegram channel as well. Okay. SK is asking Tesla. Okay, only one person is asking about stock. So okay, I'll go through Tesla. TSLA. Tesla. Okay. All right, so it has broken below this trend line, which I have drawn also. Okay, so I mentioned in my previous Facebook Live, I think not the previous one, I think with Jay or something like that. I mentioned that once price broke below this trend line, I am interested to go for a short. Okay, simply because on the weekly time frame, all right, it just looked like a bear flag to me, So Tesla is definitely bear, all right. So how do you know it is bear? Okay, very simple, very simple. Okay, if you have been following me, you know, okay. All right, price is below the cloud, so it is a downtrend. All right, since here it is a downtrend already, so it is a downtrend. Price is below the CPR, it is a downtrend. And right now price is broke below the trend line, so to me it is a downtrend. But will I short now? I will not short now because right now price is at a low. It's at a low. Why would I be shorting at a low? Okay, I want to price when price rebounded higher, and I will look for a trigger for a short if I want to. But you need to take note that overall Tesla is still on an uptrend based on the weekly time frame. Based on the weekly time frame. But you should know right now it is there's a uptrend, pullback, uptrend, a pullback. So there's a possibility that price could continue to go to this yearly pivot at about $500 if I'm not mistaken, about 500. So there's a chance. Though that is my view. Okay. All right. So yeah. So I'm looking for a trigger to short. So if you are a hardcore Tesla fan, okay, please don't come and flame me. Okay. I'm just trying to trade what I see from the chart. Okay. Long term wise, it is still bullish, but you need to buy at the right price. But right now, I think based on the trend, it is still on a downtrend. It is still on a downtrend. All right. PLTR. PL Palantir, I am still not so bullish also. If you are strictly talking about price action, all right, with no fundamental involved, okay, so price is below the cloud, below the yearly pivot, below the daily pivot, okay, and yeah, so everything is bearish now. So yeah, okay, it's below the yearly pivot. So essentially, I won't be touching that to go long. I won't be going long now. Okay, if you want to go short, I might but you need to understand that if you are shorting in a bull market, you must short fast, take profit fast. You don't expect price to continue to go down like that. Okay, at any point in time, price could just turn like that. You never know one. So even though I'm bearish, I'm still aware that overall the market is in a bull market. So if I want to short, take profit and run, that kind. All right. How about PayPal? PayPal-wise, okay, it is also downtrend. All right, price is below the cloud and below the CPR also. Okay, so I'm not bullish on PayPal. So if you go to a weekly time frame, don't be mistaken. On a weekly time frame, it is still on a uptrend, but based on the daily time frame, price could just go for a steeper pullback in the near future, maybe in the next few weeks or so. That's just my personal opinion. All right. When would you consider shorting? All right. Do you need to see a downtrend in the market first? Yes, definitely. For example, some of the growth stocks, some of these growth stocks, they are in the downtrend already. So for example, like Snow, just for example's sake, doesn't mean that I'm going to short Snow. Okay. All right. Can you see? I didn't short, but just tell you an example. All right. So downtrend over here, downtrend at CPR, downtrend over here, you just can go for a short. So to short, price need to be below the daily time frame, below the cloud and the central pivot range, at least for me to qualify for a potential short. All right. Fastly, FSLY. Fastly, no, because there's a huge gap already. Okay, there's a huge gap already. So I wouldn't consider shorting now because price is at a really low now. At least if price, hit back higher, okay, then I might consider shorting now. But you ask can bounce or not? Can bounce or not, I don't know. But to me, this is a downtrend stock. So I wouldn't touch that at this moment in time. All right, I would touch that at this moment in time. In ITFA is asking MGM can hold long term or not? MGM Resort. Right. NGN, strong stock. NGM is a strong stock. Okay, MGM is a strong stock based cyclical play because anticipating that all these resort they are going to be prospect is going to be better in the future. So if you're talking about trend wise, daily time frame, I tell you is still on a pretty good uptrend. Okay, but as I mentioned, the market if undergoing a broad pullback, it will continue to fall. So okay, but on a weekly time frame, it can be overly extended because price hit a high at the R1 yearly level already. So if you are holding right now, if you have already entered here, if you enter here, then you might consider holding now. Okay, that's my view. But it's still strong, no sign of weakness even on a daily time frame. Price is still above the cloud so you can still hold because for me, I'm not those that holds for a few years or 3 to 5 years for me, I'm more of a position trader if I go for a longer term. So hold for a few months to at most 1 year, that kind so I will hold for long term so this is just my view. So let's say if price break below the cloud already, all right, and the weekly time frame continue to head down lower, all right, then you might want to be careful already. But I'm not trying to say that cannot hold long term, but I don't know your risk level. I don't know what price you enter. So yeah, so you need to be careful about that, okay? All right. So James asking, will you consider having a session or series of sessions on options? I understand options can be used to protect your investment. I don't think so. I would want to conduct a session on options now because I feel that options can be a notoriously difficult topic to explain. I think I might not be able to explain that well also. And yeah, so I'll still stick to the stock market and the stocks are basically not derivative. Okay, I'll still stick to the standard long short stocks. All right. Yeah. So I think right now it's already 12:45, 12:50 already. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the 160 people. So one last shout. All right. Just give me a like, share, or comment if you find value in this Facebook Live because I just want to let Facebook know that you want to see more of me in the future. Because if you don't give me a like, at least Facebook will think that you're not engaging with me and you will stop showing you my Facebook Live in the near future and you won't be seeing me in the feed already. So just give me a like if you enjoy this session. Just give me a like. All right. So yeah, thank you so much. And tomorrow is a public holiday. All right. So I wish you guys a happy holiday. Have a good rest ahead and have a good night. I will see you guys again maybe on Friday. Okay. All right. See you guys again soon. All right. Bye-bye.